the Sonics are looking to do the near impossible. Standing by, Marv Albert, Matt Kukas, and Bill Walton.
Energy out of this crowd and Sonics team.
Luke Longley and Sean Kemp on the opening tip, controlled by Frank Brakowski, who is starting his second straight game. Irvin Johnson, the usual starter, did not start here on Wednesday night and has not seen much action in this series. Kemp going at Longley. Sean Kemp coming off a sensational game on Wednesday. 12 of 17, 25 points and 11 rebounds, and he's given Seattle a 2-0 lead.
Terrific way to establish yourself early. Go to a power move, make them respect that, then trick them later.
Nice pass from Luke Longley for Tony Kukoc. Phil Jackson telling us earlier that Ron Harper will not play at all in the first half. Beautiful push by Brakowski to find Kemp. Harper bothered by the aching knees, and Phil would rather use him straight, and he's planning to go with him in the second half. So Kukoc in the starting lineup once again.
They did so well with Tony starting in game 3, so they don't really lose anything. But what a way to attack pressure. Frank Brakowski taking it about 60 feet, making a fabulous play.
Here is Kukoc for 3. Tony Kukoc, who was 6 for 11, 14 points on a Wednesday night, able to hit from downtown. You see the pressure being supplied by the Bulls here at the Star.
Jordan and Payton going right at each other, but Kemp just schooling Luke Longley with quickness and balance.
And Sean Kemp had hit his last 10 shots going back to the second quarter in game 4. Nice pass. Rodman coming up short, but foul. The lead thrown by Jordan. Frank Brakowski on the foul, and Rodman will shoot a pair.
The ball movement is terrific early on for Chicago. Kukoc, Pippen, Jordan, everybody touching it. Seattle gambling. They know Jordan's going to come out with a big game attempted takeover. That's going to leave Rodman wide open a lot tonight.
Well, the bodies are more alive for Chicago in this game. They had to be more than they were in game 4. And the way you get yourself going is defensively and extend that pressure up the floor. The scary thing is the Sonics are almost eating it up. They're looking forward to that pressure and want to attack.
Well, Dennis Rodman, only a 52% free throw shooter during the regular season, able to hit on both free throws. Bulls with a 7-4 advantage with 2 minutes gone by in this first quarter. That intended for Kemp. Leg block on Rodman, a new 24 given Seattle. Well, following defeats this season, the Bulls have won 10 of 11. 10 up and 1 down. That includes the playoffs.
Sean Kemp looks spectacular in the opening moments here. I'd come right back to him and just wear him out on the offensive end for Seattle.
Shrimp. Nice move, but way off on the shot. And here is Jordan. Michael Jordan on the breakaway.
And the hop. Did he ever get up in the air? Great play by Dennis Rodman.
Bulls 9 and the Sonics 4. Kemp to the crossover. Well, the matchup continues. Luke Longley defending against Sean Kemp, and Kemp has opened up by hitting 3 of 4. Bulls lead by 3.
The quickness of Kemp on an excellent interior pass.
Oh, the tip. Rodman missing on the first attempt and then able to hang in and showing how active he can be and tipping it home. Bulls 11 and the Sonics 6. Brakowski for 3. And a loose ball foul against Longley.
I think Phil Jackson's got to come with a different look on Sean Kemp. It's the beautiful outlet pass by Rodman over the top. Payton unable to take care of business. Now, he can make up a lot with his athletic ability, but nobody's going to catch that.
The Chicago Bulls are not double teaming Kemp, which is going to give him a lot of opportunities to keep others from getting involved.
And Hersey Hawkins took that hit. So Hawkins driving it to the basket, fouled by Pippen.
Again, if Chicago doesn't do a better job of keeping Payton in front of him, keeping him on the perimeter, that's going to set up Hawkins, Shrimp, and Kemp all night long.
Non-shooting foul. Hersey hit before the shot attempt. Gary Payton being played by Michael Jordan. And Hugh Hollins indicating an illegal defense. That is the first such call against Chicago.
It's called on Dennis Rodman, who is guarding Brakowski, who was trying to lure him away from the basket.
Now Kemp posting up, facing the double team. Shot clock is at 12. Here is Schrempf.
Kukoc has got to go to the floor for loose balls. That's going to set the tempo for the entire team as he gets away with a traveling violation.
Now Jordan gives it right back to Kukoc, finding Longley, and the foul is called. Luke Longley surrounded, and the contact was made. Foul called on Kemp.
Scottie Pippen just brought everybody together at the top of the key to let them know what he is trying to do. Scottie has really labored shooting the basketball in every area, so he's trying to move without the ball, work underneath the basket, do some posting up, and he's getting knocked around like a pinball in there, saying, hey guys, keep an eye out, I'm open.
One of the reasons Scottie's labored, he's worn out over the last decade of playing championship-level basketball. The guy has not had a break at all. Jordan took that nice year and a half off, and it showed with fresh spring in his legs.
In Chicago, leading 12-6. 4 minutes gone by in this first quarter. Hawkins off the screen. Brakowski tried the back tap, but it carried out of bounds, so the Bulls will get it back.
Frank Brakowski's done some very good things. He's discarded the physical play. They've learned to ignore Rodman so far in the last game and throughout this game in the early goings. Nice, skilled contributions, Brakowski.
Well, the Bulls have opened up by hitting 4 of their first 6 shots. Here's Kemp on a pull-up. Yes. It's been all Shawn Kemp for the Sonics. Bulls lead 12-8, and Kemp has all 8 Seattle points. Here's the alley-oop for Jordan, who beat Payton for his second field goal. And it's the Bulls by 6. Sonics get right back. They try to beat the Bulls in the transition. Schrempf keeps it alive. Now Payton being guarded by Pippen. So it is Jordan against Brakowski. Payton for 3. Rebounded by Hawkins. And the outside official, Hugh Hollins, indicating a kick ball against the Bulls. The Sonics will maintain possession as a timeout now is being called by George Karl.
Well, a couple of times now, Michael Jordan has had the opportunity.
In the early going, Chicago on top of the series, 3-1, trying to wrap it up here at the Key Arena in Seattle, Washington. George Karl told his team to play loose, have some fun out there, whereas Michael Jordan told his club there is no way he wants to see a duplicate performance from the Game 4 embarrassment that they suffered 2 nights ago here in Seattle. Only 11 points in that second quarter that tied an NBA Finals record. The Knicks had set it back in 1972 against the Los Angeles Lakers. Chicago up 6, and they will get the ball back with 6:56 to play in the first quarter. Let's return to Marv Albert.
The foolishness of youth. Gary Payton, he'll learn to regret that statement.
And Jordan gets inside, but could not convert. Rebounded by Brakowski. Well, it's one of those situations, you know what Gary Payton was trying to say, but probably should have pulled it back.
I think Michael Jordan is better than ever. He's so much smarter. His skills are so much better, and he's not trying to play a game based on athleticism and individuality anymore.
Shot clock at 5. Schrempf, he's been off. Rebound, Longley. Pippen with Hawkins getting back. We're halfway through the first quarter. Bulls with the ball up by 6 points. Kukoc for 3. Schrempf feeling for Kukoc. Trent going at Kukoc and finding Payton. Not able to hit from downtown.
Gary Payton just does not feel comfortable shooting the ball. 0 for 3 so far. Just rushing his shots a little bit. They actually triple team Trent on the play.
Scottie Pippen called for the travel. Scottie Pippen coming off a 4 of 17 the other night, preceded by shooting 5 of 14 in Game 3. In fact, shooting only 35% for the series. Look at the Seattle breakdown. It's been all Kemp, 4 of 5 on the field. The rest of the club 0 for 8.
Come right back to Kemp. Dump it in low. Let him go again.
Sonics have missed 7 of their last 8 shot attempts. Payton going at Jordan. Could not get the shot off and is called for a foul and is very upset.
It's a good foul. Jordan went for the fake. Payton attacked while he was in the air. Man's in the air like this, you take advantage. Few players better in history at this than Larry Bird to get the guy just 1 little inch off balance and then attack that hoop. Easy play to call.
And a demonstrative reaction by Michael Jordan, then put his shirt in his mouth to kind of almost, in effect, bite his lip. George Karl desperately searching for some offense now, coming in with Perkins.
A reaction residue from what took place in Game 4, where Jordan was very upset with the officials. And that last touch by Seattle. Sam Perkins has come on for the first time. And here's Nate McMillan, who provided a tremendous lift for the Sonics in Game 4. And Nate receiving a standing ovation. Bill Wennington has come on for Chicago's first substitution. It's the Bulls 14 and the Sonics 8. And as Jordan made his move, he was held, blocked by Payton.
Well, there's the intelligence of the veteran Michael Jordan, knowing he felt a questionable call on him down at the other end. As soon as he would get the opportunity, put it on the floor and challenge Payton.
But Kemp in a lot of trouble. He's the only guy that scored for Seattle. George Karl has to take him out for medical purposes. Not a good sign for Seattle.
And you saw the stretching by Sean Kemp. Trying to get back into it. Jordan felt he was fouled. Instead, a travel is called. Traveling violation.
A hard double team on the screen roll situation. And Gronkowski coming hard. And Michael trying to split it, does so, but got tripped up and got out of control.
4.5 remaining in this first quarter. Scottie Pippen did not like that call. A hack on Pippen against McMillan, and for Scottie, that is his second.
And frustration on the part of Scottie Pippen, mainly because he cannot get involved at all at the offensive end. Has not taken a shot yet, trying to get himself going defensively, putting this pressure on Nate McMillan, and just a little touch foul there. Scottie reacts, as did Phil Jackson at the other end.
And Phil Jackson, with a change of plans, he had told us that he would not look to play Ron Harper in the first half because of the knee problem, but because of the fouls picked up by Pippen, forced to insert Harper here in the first quarter. Sonics struggling, as you can see. Rushed shot by Perkins.
Chicago is a fabulous defensive team. That's how they got to this position. You got 3 guys in the first team all-league defense, and they're just shutting down the Sonics offense.
Seattle 4 of 15 shooting. Now Jordan is being guarded by McMillan.
Good pick, Rodman.
Travel on Wennington. A series of calls against the Bulls in this first quarter.
And there's no question how good Chicago's defense is, but don't forget Seattle plays outstanding defense as well. Very aggressive, very physical, and so far in this ballgame, they have really frustrated the Bulls' triangle offense. It is not crisp, it is not sharp.
And Sean Kemp is back on the floor after going through a series of stretching exercises. Perkins eluding Rodman. Yes. So the Sonics with their first field goal outside of Sean Kemp. It's the Bulls 14 and the Sonics 10, and the Bulls want to talk it over. That field goal by Perkins representing their first points in the last. Offensively tonight, you can see the struggle through this final series. He feels Wednesday night he was settling for shots instead of taking it to the basket, but as we touched on earlier, sore ankles and other injuries have certainly affected his quickness and his slashing ability.
Well, Scotty was having a fabulous season up until around the All-Star break, and because of those injuries, his shot has really left him. He has been erratic this last third of the season.
Steve Kerr has come on, and Steve, after having an excellent regular season and earlier play in the playoffs, has been off in the finals. Tony Kukoc with 7 points. Bulls lead 16-10.
And that was a well-executed little play out of the triangle by Chicago, set up by the nice pick by Dennis Rodman.
Payton and McMillan in the backcourt. Kemp, Schrempf, and Perkins are up front.
So nice to see Michael Jordan up full court, 94 feet, man-to-man defense, works like Scottie Pippen as hard as anyone on the defensive end. Seattle can't even get it in.
They just did beat the 5 seconds. Nice pass, and Payton blows the layup.
Steve Kerr intimidated him.
Just under 3 minutes remaining in this first quarter. The Bulls lead by 6. Now Kerr played on the switch, shoots over Perkins. Kept alive by Jordan.
Rodman really a non-factor in the first quarter here.
Steve Kerr now 5 of 22 shooting in the series. Open shot for Kerr, and again way off. The save by McMillan. Perkins passed on the shot, and now Payton lays it home.
What a job by Shawn Kemp at mid-court handling the basketball against Michael Jordan. He gave him a little bit of a juke and then set up that fast break play.
Longley is fouled. Longley going from right to left, held by Perkins. Percy Hawkins getting set to check back in.
The decision-making ability of Sam Perkins. A complete player. Perkins can drain that three-pointer, but at the last moment on the shot attempt, dumped it down for the layup.
Well, the Bulls have a mismatch here if they want to go to it. Kukoc against McMillan inside.
That left Schrempf replaced by Hersey Hawkins. And Jordan able to get inside. Michael's third field goal, 3 of 5, 6 points, and the Bulls lead 18-12.
George Karl's strategy is to front in the low post. They're not getting good weak side rotation at all. Somebody's got to come hard.
Hersey Hawkins had all day to line up that shot and hit it from downtown to cut it to a 3-point Chicago lead.
All because Shawn Kemp leveled Michael Jordan, took him out of the play, couldn't recover.
Jordan with one of his rare outside attempts. And the Sonics had a fast break opportunity.
Well, here's Michael Jordan in the post, and this is what the Bulls had trouble with in Game 4, that little lob pass on the little release, and they did not execute it very well. But Michael Jordan trying to get over the top. Shawn Kemp kind of with a hip check.
Scottie Pippen is back. Michael Jordan getting a rest. Michael telling us before the game that the Bulls need a lift from the bench, and they're not getting it. Steve Kerr is still struggling with the shot. We're just under 1 minute to go in this first quarter. Hersey Hawkins, yes, and it counts. Putting the move on Steve Kerr, and Hawkins will go to the line with a chance to tie the game.
Clearly the best basketball that we've seen during the finals this year. Sonics in transition. Kerr giving it up on the offensive end, and then just flailing away Hawkins at the hoop. Lucky to get that foul. Looked like the offensive player initiated contact.
3-point play for Hawkins, who comes off a strong game on Wednesday. Sonics and Bulls tied at 18. The shot clock is down to 6. Pippen fires for 3. Rebound Rodman. Kept alive by Kukoc. And McMillan came up with it. Payton in the open floor. And he'll pull it back with 15 seconds remaining in the quarter. Game is tied at 18. Kemp shooting over Longley. That was not the shot the Sonics had in mind.
Very poor execution at the end.
And here is Pippen. Couldn't find the shot. But George Karl has to be very pleased with the Sonics coming from behind. This crowd is fired up once again. Sonics in the first quarter with 6 unanswered. And the game is tied at 18. You are watching the NBA on NBC.
Shawn Kemp, he has been the story for the Seattle Sonics. Kemp, 4 of 6 from the field, 8 points. He is the high man thus far for either team. Tony Kukoc is leading Chicago with 7 points in the first quarter of action. The Sonics looking like they belong. And that is something that I couldn't say through the first 3 games. In Game 4, they finally looked like a championship caliber team. As for Chicago, looking for some strength off their bench. Steve Kerr has not provided it. And with Tony Kukoc in the starting lineup, they need somebody off that bench to provide a spark. Sonics and Bulls tied at 18 with 1 quarter of play complete here at the Key Arena in Seattle, Washington. Right now we rejoin Marv Albert, Bill Walton, and Matt Kukas.
On the Cyber broadcast. This is too much. They can't find the game ball.
Well, Chicago's bench coming up with absolutely nothing in that first quarter at either end of the floor, which is going to put that much more pressure on Scottie Pippen, Tony Kukoc, and when Michael Jordan does get back into the ballgame.
Well, Hersey Hawkins scoring the last 6 Seattle points to conclude matters in the first quarter. Randy Brown has checked in for the Bulls as Scottie Pippen opens up the second with his first field goal. It's the Bulls 20 and the Sonics 18. Oh, pretty move by Hawkins, who has taken over offensively. And the game is tied at 20.
Seattle has just taken Steve Kerr apart, and he can't get anything back on the offensive end.
Well, Pippen having the mismatch with Hawkins, and the foul is called. On the subject of Steve Kerr, who had such an excellent season, but slumping in the finals, he says there was a time during his career that he was a bit more physical about his frustration. He'd want to go back to the hotel. There's Kerr. Again, not able to hit. He'd want to punch holes in the wall, but he says he can't do that anymore because we stay in much nicer hotels these days.
And the way he's shooting it now, he might miss the wall. He is really thinking too hard out there. You can tell the way he's holding his follow-through. John Paxson, a former Chicago Bull player, now assistant coach and a great outside shooter, was telling Steve at practice yesterday, you've got to get your balance. Get your balance and let it fly. But once that mind takes over, it makes it very difficult to shoot the basketball.
Illegal defense, the call for the second time, and so Hawkins will shoot the technical.
But coming out of that quarter break, Phil Jackson going to 2 post plays for Scottie Pippen. He is not happy with the way Scottie Pippen is shooting the ball from the perimeter. Not only the result, but the type of shots that he's taking, so inside.
Sonics lead by 1. A minute gone by in the second quarter. There is Payton. And Michael Jordan, who just returned, coming up with that loose ball. Randy Brown had a very strong game down the stretch, although in a blowout. Pippen again from in close. So Randy Brown earning the early playing time. the other day. Very active, a lot of energy, and the coach is pleased with the play of Brown.
Marvin, it was his defensive play that got that ball back for the Bulls.
Won't count. Foul called with Payton driving the lane and blocked off.
I think Phil Jackson's going to go with Randy Brown more than Steve Kerr right now because Kerr just can't get it going. Bulls get a break that foul was actually called. It denied a Sean Kemp slam.
And right now the referee's going to check. I thought Gary Payton shot that basketball as he was bumped by as George Karl is out on the floor right now saying that he was fouled when he shot the ball, and I think he was.
They wanted in the act, which would be a shooting foul, and Karl is very upset. Here's another look at it.
Well, Luke Longley stepping over to try to take a charge here, clearly moving on the play, and since the ball didn't hit the rim or the basket, the officials felt it may have been a pass, but now they are correcting the play, and Gary Payton, a poor free throw shooter at 62% in this series, steps to the line.
Well, Payton has been off from the field, only 1 of 6, and now 1 for 1 from the line. He has 3 points.
But poor is relative. I mean, if Shaq did that, people would be ecstatic.
62% for a point guard is poor.
Sonics lead 23-22. 2 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Longley lost it. Crowd was looking for travel on Longley. Payton going at Brown. Has to throw it out. Hawkins. And Kukoc to the rebound. Percy Hawkins has had the hot hand. He leads the Sonics with 9. Kemp with 8 points. Quiet start for Jordan. 3 of 6 from the field. 6 points. Shot clock down to 6. Pippen played very well. Blocked by Hawkins. Kukoc just didn't beat the 24. Rebounded by Perkins.
Too slow by Scotty in making that play happen. He's got the mismatch against Hersey Hawkins.
McMillan, yes! Nate McMillan from downtown and then hobbles back to the defensive end.
Barb, I was talking to Nate. He said that his contributions had to be more than emotional today. He had to start playing good basketball again. That's very hard to do with that injury.
Traveling violation on Scottie Pippen. A host of travels have been called against Chicago.
Well, when you have a bad back and bad legs, it is so difficult to shoot the ball from the perimeter. But somehow or other, Nate McMillan in the last 2 ball games has been able to get his feet under him and still knock the shot down. He is playing really on so much emotion, so much adrenaline, and feeding off this crowd.
It's the Sonics by 4. We'll be right back. George Karl and his Sonics with their biggest lead of the game, up by 4 as they have turned it around once again. You see the struggles over the first 3 games when they were trailing 3 games to nothing. And in game 4 with that stirring victory, shooting 56%, a 107-86 win over the Bulls. You saw the numbers change around dramatically, and tonight the Sonics receiving balanced scoring. Hawkins with 9 and Kemp with 8. The Bulls have led by as many as 6, and the Sonics now by 4 with 3.5 gone by in the second quarter, and a reach-in foul is called on Steve Kerr.
Well, Steve is trying to make up for some of the problems that he's having at the offensive end by being more aggressive at the defensive end. Although Hersey Hawkins, not known as a one-on-one player, still can take the ball to the basket and excellent using screens.
Net left, Shrek. Rebound, Sean Kemp. Rebounded by Luke Longley.
Dennis Rodman continues to be a non-factor.
Scottie Pippen is trying to shoot his way back into it. Michael Jordan, yes, and it counts. And he'll head to the line looking for his 9th point. Hugh Hollins in a discussion with a couple of members of the Sonics and maybe handing out a tee.
A technical on Nate McMillan for throwing the ball at Dennis Rodman on a little bit of an exchange underneath. Dennis loves to just get tangled up. Dennis put the ball right in his midsection. I don't want that ball. Again, Dennis Rodman initiating the play, yet the second one so often the one detected.
No question that Dennis instigated that, and then McMillan was the guy who was seen and was called for the technical foul.
But Seattle has really improved through this series at learning to ignore Dennis Rodman. It really came to the front in game 4 tonight. That was the first altercation, and now they come right back and tag Dennis.
So the foul on Rodman is first.
Well, Dennis Rodman always aggressive on the offensive board there. That was a makeup call. That was for pushing the ball in Nate McMillan's stomach, but that was not a foul.
Sonics by 1. Kemp looking to do it off the dribble, then try to backdoor pass, and it's a kickball. So the Sonics get the reset of the clock, a new 24.
Shawn Kemp's playing at a faster speed, and the rest of his teammates, they need to catch up to him.
McMillan for Hawkins. Kemp passing on the 3-point shot.
Thank goodness.
Yes. Perkins posting with the shot clock running down. Oh, Kemp stealing the rebound from Rodman. Shrimp, yes. Shawn Kemp made that play, took it away from Dennis Rodman. Sonics with a 3-point lead. The crowd very much back into it. Longley from Jordan, fouled by Kemp.
Well, Dennis Rodman on the boards at both ends of the floor does such a good job of not necessarily jumping high, but tipping the ball to himself. There he does a good defensive job, but Dennis just trying to tip to himself. But the quicker, stronger Shawn Kemp actually pulling a Rodman play on Dennis himself, the save, and getting the deuce for Shrimp.
Dennis does not look sharp. He almost looks old tonight. He is 34, 35.
He has hit the 35 mark, Bill, to be precise, and has not been as active as we usually see.
Well, you would think that after that embarrassing moment of game 4, that Rodman and Pippen and Jordan would come out with so much energy and so much enthusiasm and spring. We've seen it with Jordan. Pippen's had some good plays. It has not been there from Dennis Rodman tonight.
Sonics 28, Bulls 27. Marv Albert, Matt Dukas, Bill Walton with Ahmad Rashad and Hannah Storm working the sideline. Foul is called. Sonics looking for a goaltend. Bob Costas with us. We'll hear from Bob at halftime. In fact, a close-up look at that man, George Karl, as Bob sat down with George, who always has intriguing things to say. Luke Longley is called for his 3rd foul, and Shawn Kemp will shoot a couple. Kemp on the line for the first time tonight.
He's been fabulous from the line throughout the playoffs. He has made 13 in a row so far in these finals. And he is so active around the basket, so difficult to defend, and it's a tough decision for Phil Jackson to really take that double team off, because you know you're going to give up points and you know you're going to give up free throws to this man, but what you do is keep other people out of the game when you don't double team.
And so marvelously conditioned as well, as Luke Longley's getting an earful from Phil Jackson. Shawn Kemp can play all day like Michael Jordan, and as the strain of the playoffs wears on, he'll continue to shine.
Jordan, yes, and it counts. So Michael getting very serious here in the 2nd quarter. Another 3-point opportunity. Jordan going to the left hand against McMillan, and then able to hit, draws the foul. We'll be back in a moment.
18-12 thus far, and it's helped in second chance opportunities.
It's come all the way back, and they're playing such good ball right now. Sonic basketball, terrific defense. They need more offense out of guys other than just Kemp. They haven't made a lot of shots tonight, Marv. They've already missed 18 shots in this game. The last 3 quarters of game 4, they only missed 17 total.
11 of 29 from the field, 38%. Bulls now 44%. Jordan completing the three-point play, so he has 11. And the game is tied at 30. Some light pressure being shown now by Chicago. Gary Payton is back, handling against Michael Jordan. Payton and Hawkins and McMillan in the 3-guard setup, along with Kemp and Schrempf. 6.5 to go in this first half. It is game 5 of the NBA Finals. Sonics trying to stay alive, hoping to send the series back to Chicago. It won't count. Foul before the shot attempt. And the Bulls, of course, trying to wrap it up here in 5 tonight. Foul was called on Rodman. That is his second. And the Bulls are now over the foul limit. The Sonics have 4 team fouls.
And a delay of game warning on Chicago. They've switched Dennis Rodman now with Longley on the bench. He wasn't getting it done. The next choice. Oh, that's an initiation of contact by the offensive player, Shawn Kemp, who was standing right there. The play called, though, on Dennis Rodman.
Well, Dennis Rodman does such a good job of guarding bigger, stronger players. Like the Shaquille O'Neal, I say good job, that's all relative, because he has a good low base and knows how to play post defense. The problem in guarding Kemp is he's so quick and explosive.
Well, Shawn Kemp finally misses from the line. Sonics lead 31-30.
Good defense. Hawkins making him bring it back away from Jordan.
Steve Kerr getting the playing time here in the second quarter. Nice feed from Kerr to Kukoc. Tony Kukoc continuing his consistent scoring right throughout the finals. And the Bulls now lead 32-31. Kukoc with 9 points. Payton on the spin. Beautifully done as he beat Jordan off the dribble. And it's the Sonics with a 33-32 lead.
Jordan going for the steal. He's so much taller than Gary. He can just stand up big over the top defensively.
Bulls swinging the ball. Chant of defense from the crowd. Shot clock at 5. Jordan for 3. Over the top of the glass. So the ball goes back to the Sonics.
Well, Gary Payton is the defensive player of the year, but this man, number 23, a pretty fair country defender in his own right this time, got faked out of his shoes as Payton made the strong, hard move to the middle. Michael went for it, and then a terrific spin play by Gary Payton.
The Bulls are now 1 for 9 from three-point range. They have missed their last 8, coming up on 5 minutes remaining. First half, Sonics lead by 1. Payton off the screen. A 3 for Payton. Beautiful pick set by Shawn Kemp.
And you can just feel the surging confidence of Seattle. Payton takes Jordan in the post one time, now comes back and works the pick and roll, gets the 3. Seattle playing terrific ball.
Shot clock down to 5. And a foul on McMillan. McMillan involved with Pippen is called for a hold. Seattle is now over the foul limit.
Well, Gary Payton was talking about the importance of making Michael Jordan work at the other end of the floor, because you know you got your hands full, and that's what Gary has tried to do. He's starting to feel it right now and appealing to the crowd, and it doesn't take much to get them involved.
Yesterday, Michael Jordan was telling our Jim Gray and Julius Erving that after being taunted somewhat by Gary Payton in games 1 and 2, game 3, Jordan said Payton asked him only one question: "Can I have your shoes?" Jordan said, "No, maybe some other time." Talk about timing. So Nate McMillan headed back to the Sonic locker room. They'll work On Nate, that has been the procedure with the bad back and the hamstring problem, which comes from the back injury. Sonics lead 36-34, 4:25 to go in this first half.
They can swing Perkins into the low post on Scottie Pippen right here.
Payton. And Rodman in a battle. And last touched by Kemp.
Sean Kemp is working so hard on that offensive glass, the position, the fight. You see him hit low to establish that position, and then these are the two guys that jump the most times for any single ball going head to head. Beautiful.
Pippen for three. And a foul is called. Now a 3-second violation on the ball.
Chicago just can't even get a clean look from beyond the arc. Every shot is being challenged right now by Seattle.
But that's what Seattle does. They're so good at double teaming the ball, shutting down the initial play, and then closing out on the swing of the ball.
And you see the assist to turnover ratio. Seattle doing a good job. Sean Kemp always in danger, but he puts that ball on the floor. But that time a reach-in foul called. It's on Randy Brown.
Actually, Kemp made a nice little ball fake on a cutter on the baseline, which Dennis Rodman honored. He realized he was fooled on the play and tried to get back and take away that hard move to the lane. He took the bump from Kemp and flopped and did not get the call.
Well, Sean Kemp has now missed his last 2 free throws. Here's another look at that last sequence.
But now you're looking at one of the things where Chicago does not have ultimate strength. Guarding a post-up player who can also put the ball on the floor, like a Sean Kemp, like an old Kevin McHale from the Celtic days, like a James Worthy. They can do it with Shaq because they have all those big guys in the centers who come in and just push and shove. They can't use those guys against Sean Kemp.
Sonics by 3. 3.5 remaining in the half. Brown tried the three-pointer. Kemp had the dribble knocked away. Recovered by Payton. Here's Schlipp. Step left, Schlipp. Providing a 5-point Seattle lead. And Chicago calls for time.
You saw the big games from Sean Kemp, 1 and 2, 32 and 29-point efforts. Game 3 dipped down to 14. Game 4, the numbers may not indicate it, but it was his best all-around performance.
A 5-point margin, 3:12 remaining in the second quarter. The key, only 2 turnovers thus far for Seattle. Chicago has turned it over 7 times.
And we talked at the end of game 4, Marvin, about Chicago having to fight these guys off back from square one. Jordan able to deliver out of the timeout. But this crowd is so wild, so raucous, they will not let their Sonics stop pushing tonight.
Michael Jordan with 13 to lead the Bulls. Sonics 39 and the Bulls 36. Now Kemp being played by Wennington, and he's called for a travel. He's trying to back his way. And steps called.
Only the 3rd turnover, however, for Seattle. One of the reasons why they've been leading in this ball game. And also the fact that they just have been quicker than Chicago overall to the loose ball.
And it's tough. Chicago forced to take Dennis Rodman off Sean Kemp down low, having to come with beef in Wennington.
And here is Wennington. David Wingate, who saw playing time in game number 4, made his first appearance. Here's Wingate looking for the 3. Perkins with the rebound, but a foul, loose ball foul is called.
Not a good shot by David Wingate, coming off the bench, ice cold. First time you get your hands on the ball, you got to look to just make a quick pass or a cut. You don't want to be raising up for a 20-foot jump shot in that situation.
Here's Frank Rakowski, who started the game, although he has not played much in this first half. He returns, replacing Sam Perkins, who just collected his 3rd foul.
Marv, it's amazing to me that Seattle's only got Shawn Kemp 7 shots. Yeah, they are dumping it down to him a lot. He has taken 6 free throws. Shawn Kemp, he's playing so well, so far above everyone else of his teammates. He should be taking at least 15 shots in this first half alone.
Bill Wennington in his 9th season out of St. John's, spent 5 years with Dallas, a year with Sacramento, a couple of years in Italy, signed with the Bulls as a free agent. It's his 4th year with Chicago and has been very effective coming off the bench, particularly in the playoffs.
Well, I thought Hersey Hawkins had a nice little run there at the end of the first quarter to chip in with the scoring, and Gary Payton has since come alive.
Schrempf, rebounded by Rodman. Jordan behind the back to beat Brakowski, and that goes right at Wingate. What a move by Michael Jordan, and he's tied the game at 39.
How about the crowd reaction to that?
Here's Kemp right back with the reverse. Sonics 41 and the Bulls 39. Kemp with 14. Jordan has 15. Wingate guarding Jordan. Off the fake. Rebound Pippen. Well, Scotty showing the lively legs, but could not convert on the reverse.
Just not the second jump, though, for Scotty, who's, Jordan beaten badly, backdoor defensively.
Gary Payton got the step on Michael Jordan, and it's the Sonics by 4, coming up on 1 minute remaining in the first half. Jordan now played by Schrempf, and away from the ball, foul being indicated by Jess Kersey.
Well, on the fly pattern to Michael Jordan on the catch, realizing he had a defender there, able in midair to collect himself, go behind his back, and gather himself and still finish the play. A spectacular Michael Jordan play.
A little bit of everything. You go high to catch the ball, you land, you change direction in midair. 2 or 3 different times. You shoot on the way back down. That guy's pretty darn good.
Once again, the keen observation by Bill. David Wingate picked up the foul, putting Scottie Pippen at the line. So Pippen is now 2 of 3, has only 6 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist in his 20 minutes of play.
John Sally replacing Bill Wennington. Phil Jackson realizing Wennington cannot handle Kemp inside, and consequently the rest of the Bulls defense always looking to help out. That's why they're leaving openings. Sally the better defender.
Again, the pressure against Payton. First it was Jordan, and then Pippen, and Payton able to handle it. And Brakowski tried to hit the cutting Payton, but that pass off the mark.
That was a beautiful pass, I thought, though, Marv. Payton just not ready for it.
And here is Steve Scheffler with an early entrance to give Shawn Kemp a rest. The reason we're seeing Scheffler at this point is because Perkins has 3 fouls, and George Karl wanted to get Kemp out of there. Did not want Kemp to pick up a 3rd before the half.
And like good isolation, Scotty should just take him right to the hoop. I mean, Tony Kukoc.
Well, Kukoc going at Scheffler, called for travel. Very anxious to set it up in the post-up mode. So the Sonics get it back with a half minute to go in this first half. 22nd timeout taken by Seattle. It's the Sonics by 3, and once again receiving a standing ovation. Okay. Second timeout. has expired. Here are the Bulls moving back onto the floor. Michael Jordan, 7 of 12, 15 points, 9 of his 15 in the second quarter. Shawn Kemp sitting down for the final half minute of this first half. He leads Seattle with 14. Gary Payton, after the slow start, coming on with 9 of his 11 in the second quarter.
Good psychological move right now would be to let Gary Payton go right at Jordan, but they can't even get the ball inbound.
Well,
how disappointing.
Rare turnover, though, by the Sonics, who have handled the ball very well in this first half. But the Bulls get it right back, setting up for a final shot of the half. Jordan fires. And the Sonics lead by 1. 10 seconds to go. First half. We are down to 5. Pressure on the ball, slowing up Payton, able to penetrate. And that is the end of the first half. And the Sonics are hearing it from the crowd. The Bulls at one stretch led by 6. Sonics able to come from behind. They have a 1-point lead at the half. Back in a moment with Bob Costas and the Prudential halftime report.
Getting set for third quarter action. Michael Jordan and the Bulls trail the Seattle Supersonics 43-42 in Game 5 of the 1996 NBA Finals. The crowd coming alive. And we are ready for third quarter play.
Phil Jackson very calm during the halftime, comfortable with the position that they're in. He wants his team to be more patient on their offense and try to get some backdoor plays because Seattle is overplaying them. He also emphasized the importance of making their free throws. Marv?
All right, thank you, Ahmad. It's a 43-42 Sonics lead. On the subject of Chicago free throws, 11 of 15 from the line in the first half. Kukoc, and he's hit by Shrimp. Or perhaps a traveling call. Traveling violation. The outside official, Hugh Hollins, calling the travel as Ed Rush underneath was indicating a foul.
And that was not a smile of joy on the face of Phil Jackson there. He does not like that call. Yes, Tony Kukoc did fumble the ball, but I don't think he moved his feet.
You turn a 3-on-1 fast break into a traveling violation. Ouch, that's an ugly start for Chicago.
Hawkins and Payton open up in the backcourt. A bad shot by Hawkins. Kemp up front with Rakowski and Schrempf. Bulls with Longley at center. Here's Pippen trying a 3. Pippen, Jordan, Longley, Kukoc, and Rodman on the floor. And trailing the play, a foul has been called on Rodman. Rodman with a hold. He was reaching out.
Mixed up with deadlift Schrempf there, the outlet. Rodman impedes his progress up the court. Easy play to call, goes on so many times. Jess Kersey has seen enough.
Schrempf posting Kukoc. Oh, swooping hook by Detlef Schrempf. The Sonics 45 and the Bulls 42. Minute and a half gone by in the third quarter. Longley, yes, Luke Longley with his first field goal. And the Sonics now lead by 1. Kemp, yes. And it's Seattle with a 3-point advantage. 16 points for Shawn Kemp.
Seattle played really solid basketball throughout the first half. Shawn Kemp, not enough shots. That's just his 9th for the game. Plus Perkins has 3 fouls. Other than that, beautiful.
Michael Jordan's script. Schrempf backing Kukoc. Shot clock at 5. Hawkins gives it back. Hawkins gets it off. And knocked out of bounds by a surging Shawn Kemp.
Did you see how high this man was? The shot to beat the shot clock buzzer, and Shawn Kemp read it the whole way. Dennis Rodman, Luke Longley not doing anything to keep him off the glass.
Well, Phil Jackson very much concerned with the way Chicago running their offense right now. Wants to get a little bit more patience and better shots.
Kukoc pass on the 3-second violation that was caused by the hesitation by Kukoc.
A moment ago, Shawn Kemp over the top of Scottie Pippen, who regularly gets above the rim himself.
Well, 3 turnovers on the Bulls the first 3 minutes of this third quarter. Kukoc got a hand on it, recovered by Payton. Now the shot clock at 5. Payton is fouled by Jordan. Blocking foul, no argument there. And for Michael, his second.
Well, a couple plays before the Sonics going inside to Shrimp against Kukoc. This time, Tony did a much better job to stop that. But now with the shot clock winding down, Payton trying to create, and Michael picking up the foul.
Seattle should come right back to Gary Payton. He just draws a foul. Double foul away from the ball. Bukowski and Rodman uncalled for.
Well, something here beginning to brew. They were quiet earlier, but Bukowski and Rodman getting involved.
Well, Dennis puts his chin and face right under the forearm of Bukowski, and Bukowski trying to create some space for himself can do nothing but hit Dennis Rodman. The 4th on Dennis, and that spells problems, big problems, for Chicago.
Well, suddenly the Bulls are facing a difficult situation. You have 4 on Rodman, who is apparently drew blood, and that's what he is complaining about. You have Ron Harper, who's hurt because of the aching knees, has seen limited action. You have a situation with Scottie Pippen obviously hurting, and he is off his game. And the Sonics have a 3-point lead as they look to come back into the series, hoping to send it to Chicago for a 6th game on Sunday. Finding Hawkins. The Sonics with a 49-44 lead.
Kemp one time with the pass. Gary Payton with the taking of Michael Jordan. Sonics playing their game.
And here is Jordan, too strong. Rebound Shrimp. Kemp ahead of the field, and he is fouled by Pippen. And Kemp hits the floor.
And right after that play, as Rodman came in, gave a little extra bump to Gary Payton, who objected to that, got right up into Dennis Rodman and re-bumped him. The Sonics are so much better when they are just playing free and loose and reacting to whatever the situation is rather than set stuff. Pippen just trying to stop the easy lay-in. And then right after this, Rodman and Payton right in each other's chest.
The Sonics have outscored the Bulls 9-2 in this third quarter, and we may have reached the point where the Bulls need Michael Jordan to try and take over. They are down by 6.
Shawn Kemp took to the sternum. It is still very sore. Trainer Frank Ricardo told me that Shawn is going to have to continue to keep an ice pack on that chest to try to numb that injury for the remainder of the game, but he certainly appears to be playing just fine. Mark?
Yes, he does. Look at the stat line. 6 of 9 from the field, 5 of 7 from the line. He had hit 15 straight free throws at one stretch. 5 rebounds, 17 points in all for the 4-time All-Star in his 7th NBA season. Shawn Kemp, who has come such a long way during the course of the playoffs. In terms of perception, how I'm sure he's being received around the country.
Well, he's turned his incredible physical capabilities into impact, control of the game. He's playing with discipline, not trying to do anything wild out of his repertoire, but you can just see how this whole thing has turned around. Seattle's coming out. They're anxious to get back out on the court, and Chicago, they're walking around with very long faces right now.
Foul on Shrimp, And the Bulls will get a new 24. It is a 7-point Sonic lead. It represents their biggest lead of the game. They double up on Kukoc. Pippen. Scottie Pippen. Nice move. Passing on the outside shot and going to the drive.
During that last timeout, Phil Jackson spent about 95% of it just talking with his assistant coaches away from the team. I think he wanted the players themselves to start to get together and figure this thing out for themselves.
This is not so much about strategy and X's and O's for Chicago. They're just being out-hustled at this point.
Here's Pippen. Not able to find the range, but Rodman able to keep it alive. Pippen is now 3 of 9 from the field. Jordan off the screen. That was a 3-point attempt, and he was fouled. He will go to the line. Although Jess Kersey and Hugh Hollins involved in a discussion, and it is called a shooting foul. That was the point of the discussion. Foul on Payton, his second.
I think part of the discussion was here is that maybe Luke Longley or somebody else got fouled on the screen in that situation, but clearly Michael got ticked on the shot attempt.
But why foul him? Chicago's 1 for 11 from behind the 3-point line tonight. Make him make one before you start jumping at him. Never foul jump shooters.
So Michael Jordan with 3 free throws. He has 18 points in all. He's coming off the 6 of 19 the other night. Chicago Bulls fans like to point to the 1993 conference finals against the Knicks. Jordan 3 of 18 from the field in game 3. And then in game 4 came back with 54 points on 18 of 30 from the field.
That's called a facial statement.
Yes. Sonics lead 51-49. Kemp on the recovery. Hawkins keeping it alive. He's called for a violation.
A good defensive sequence on that trip by Chicago, mainly because Jordan applied the pressure on Payton, made him lose a lot of time. And by the time Shawn Kemp got the ball, the defense of Chicago was set for a tough shot.
And Rodman just cannot get into the rhythm of this game.
Foul committed by Bukowski. Sure, Frank also appreciated the encouraging pat from his good friend Dennis Rodman. Bukowski called for his 3rd.
Even though Bukowski has 0 points, he's made a very positive contribution for Seattle tonight.
3 team fouls apiece. Now the matchup is Kemp with Rodman. And a foul. It is on Hawkins.
Well, for some reason, Shawn Kemp switching over to Dennis Rodman for this particular play, and then a hard pop right into the chest of Dennis Rodman, and one of the rare times that Dennis did not flop. He actually got hit.
Well, there was a foul away from that situation called on Hawkins. Kukoc trying to get it to Rodman. Kukoc with the recovery. And he has tied the game at 51. And a technical foul has been called. Apparently a delay of game, which was their second, and that is a technical foul. And Michael Jordan was very upset with Dennis Rodman. A second delay of game, which means an automatic tee, and Hersey Hawkins will shoot it.
It's amazing that Chicago is even back in this game. Now just trailing by 1. Nobody is playing very well. Dennis Rodman can't control this ball. Kukoc will finally stick it back in. And then Rodman throws the ball. Just let it go.
And you see Michael's reaction, upset with what he felt was just unnecessary. Kemp with a crossover. And Rush looking for help as to who deflected it out of bounds. Last touch by the Bulls.
Good job by Michael Jordan to get a hand in there and knock it loose. When Shawn Kemp does drop that ball below his waist in any situation, he becomes very careless with it.
11 on the shot clock. And it's a 5-second violation. Payton did not get it inbounds in time.
Marv, sitting here watching Shawn Kemp is so much fun tonight because he is just doing everything. He is dribbling between his legs, creating plays, dictating the flow. Magnificent, beautiful performance.
Nice move by Jordan. Michael again taking it to the hoop. And he's been going to the drive more frequently than throughout the playoffs and the regular season. Very few jump shots from Michael Jordan. 9-1 run by the Bulls. Kemp, that won't count. He was fouled before the shot attempt.
Oh, Michael Jordan with a bent on getting to the basket with that quick, hard move, and stumbled a little bit here as he gathered.
Whoa.
Just shuffling his feet to get away from some defenders and get that shot off.
With 5:17 to play here in the third. Shawn Kemp urging his fellow all-star point guard Gary Payton to start to control this game like he did in Game 4. Kemp averaged just under 20 points during the season, 21 for the playoffs, already has 18 tonight. And we still have 5:17 left in the third quarter. A very stoic Phil Jackson. He did not like what he saw in Game 4. He felt it was very uncharacteristic. Didn't feel the Bulls gave the effort. Yes, he gave credit to Seattle, but Jackson has said, we can't worry about what the opponent does. We are good enough to beat anybody, any day in the NBA. So the pressure falls on our shoulders. And Michael Jordan embraces it. 53-52, Bulls leading the Sonics.
Let's check in with Ahmad Rashad.
All right, thanks, Marv. During that timeout, Phil Jackson telling his team just to maintain their poise. The one thing he didn't want to happen is let the game run away from them right now. Just continue keeping their poise. They're in good shape. Marv?
All right, thanks, Ahmad. Bulls with a 1-point lead with 5:05 remaining in this third quarter. 3-second violation called, and the Bulls will get it right back.
That was on Shawn Kemp. Marv, sometimes Shawn has a tendency to set up too low, close to that baseline, doesn't give himself room to turn and get a good angle bank shot.
Nate McMillan is back on the floor for the Sonics. Bill Wennington is in, replacing Luke Longley, who left after picking up a fourth foul. Nice turnaround jump shot. Wennington with his first field goal, and the Bulls now lead by 3.
Set up by a beautiful fake on the hard cut by Jordan. The defense all looked at Michael, left Wennington all alone.
Perkins, who's been quiet, fouled by Pippen. He was blocked out. That jump shot by Wennington, the first field goal off the bench for the Chicago Bulls.
And a big reason why the bench having so many problems is because Tony Kukoc, a starter, because of the ineffectiveness or really inability of Ron Harper to give them any kind of minutes at all. So their best producer, Kukoc, having to start, and the bench just not able to get much production at all.
And it doesn't look like Harper's going to be much of a factor the rest of the way. I mean, he is so tough. He's got that impingement syndrome in the good knee, the one that was not surgically reconstructed. Is the bench scoring not much from either squad. Time to go with the big guns.
Ron Harper, a very important player for the Bulls right throughout this playoff run, in particular from the defensive end, and also was able to contribute offensively. Bulls lead by 1. 11-3 run by Chicago. Good pressure by McMillan. Shot clock at 6. Traveling on Wennington.
The Seattle defense, that's what we've seen all year long. 64 victories in the tough Western Conference, 10th best record of all time. They're pushing, they're swarming, forcing Chicago into careless turnovers.
This is about as animated on the court in public view we've seen the Chicago Bulls, showing the concern. Players talking to each other, screaming at each other. Here is Schrempf. Yes! Three-pointer for Detlef Schrempf. And it's the Sonics 57, the Bulls 55. 3:40 to go. Third quarter. Pippen had it knocked away by McMillan. It will be Chicago ball.
Even when Nate McMillan isn't doing anything, just his presence on the floor picks up the other four players. They get more aggressive defensively. They're more confident at the offensive end. And oh, what it does to this crowd. They get unbelievably loud.
Nate McMillan hobbling back to the top of the key, and he is hearing it from the crowd once again. Steve Kerr back on the floor for Chicago. Good hands by Schrempf.
Good time for Chicago to clear aside for Michael Jordan. Let him, the great player, the MVP, the reason why the Bulls are here, let him get the Sonic fans back in their seats.
Well, the acoustics here at the Key Arena are excellent. Just how loud is it? Went up to 103 on the decibel level chart. Just discussing the on-court animation by the Bulls. We've seen Pippen get involved. We've seen Jordan, of course, Phil Jackson on the bench on several occasions. Looks like we're watching the New York Knicks, who usually show it all on the court, but it's very rare to see the Bulls react in this manner. Shot clock is down to 5. Pippen is rejected. They double up on Kemp. Perkins to the scoop. Yes, but will not count. The foul before the shot attack.
Marv, it's time for Scotty and Michael Jordan to stop pointing at their teammates. Scotty's got 9 points. Michael Jordan 22, which is very good in this extremely low-scoring game. But hey, you win with your star players playing great. Very difficult to win on the road. They got to show better leadership and build guys up rather than tearing them down, which they're doing right now.
Foul committed by Scottie Pippen. That's 4 on Pippen and Rodman. Sam Perkins extending to a 3-point Sonic lead. Here's Tony Kukoc back, replacing Bill Wennington. So the Bulls now have Kukoc, Rodman, and Pippen up front with Jordan and Kerr in the backcourt.
And Scottie Pippen looks like he just does not have the strength in his legs or the quickness, because he is unable to go by Detlef Schrempf right now, who is not that strong an individual defender.
They are on their feet at Key Arena, rooting for the defense. Jordan battling against Payton, finding Kerr for 3. Now it's called a 2. He had the foot on the line. So Steve Kerr, after missing his first 3 shots, is able to score. That's his first field goal. Sonics 59 and the Bulls 57. Payton with the room. 13 for Payton, and the Sonics lead 61-57.
Barb, you just see the quickness, the push. Payton playing free basketball right now, no thought process.
Jordan with the room. Yes! Michael Jordan with 24. Sonics 61 and the Bulls 59. We come up on 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Shot clock at 5. Payton for 3. Air ball handled by Rodman. Oh, look out. That pass thrown behind Jordan, saved by Kerr. And here is Jordan. Shrep. Kemp. Kemp called. Let's see. Called for the charge, and that is his third foul.
And a risky play that time by Dennis Rodman, playing with 4 personal fouls. Really had to get the feet over there very quickly. And the big question is there, did he have him there? I don't think so. He got a break. He got a break.
You think that's a defensive foul? Sean Kemp ran over it.
It's a non-call.
That's an offensive foul all the way.
Jordan. Pippen. Kukoc shooting. That left Trump to the boards. We come up on 1 minute remaining in the third. Sonics with the ball and a 2-point lead. Perkins going at Kukoc and foul.
Seattle is the quicker, the hungrier, the fresher, the younger team right now. Chicago standing around, their uniforms are drooping, their faces are long and sad.
The drooping uniform.
You know, I hate drooping uniforms. I hate to see the problem.
But it's just nice to see Seattle finally playing the basketball that they've played most of the season.
You know, in pro basketball, so much of it is finding matchups that you can exploit. And right now, the Sonics are doing a better job of zeroing in on Tony Kukoc, whether it's Detlef Schrempf on the post. That time, Sam Perkins. Tony has a difficult time guarding people inside. Michael Jordan will get a breather here as we wind down at the end of the third quarter. But at the other end of the floor, with Pippen ineffective, Tony Kukoc has to make plays for himself and for his teammates.
Judd Bushler makes his first appearance of the game. The Bulls with 3 players will collected 4 fouls. Rodman, Pippen, and Longley. And Rodman and Pippen are still on the court. 40 seconds to go in this third quarter. Rodman playing the high post.
No need to foul him, Sean Kemp.
Here's Pippen with the shot clock running down, firing up from 3-point land. 25 seconds to go. Third quarter. Sonics have a 3-point lead. Perkins going at Bushler. Rebounded by Rodman. Nice box out for his 10th rebound.
Not a good play by Sam Perkins. Should have wound the clock down and got the last shot.
Final seconds of the third. Here's Kerr off the dribble. And he was fouled up high. So Steve Kerr trying to set it up with 4 8/10 seconds remaining was fouled by Nate McMillan, and Kerr to the free throw line. Michael Jordan sitting it out. 24 points for Jordan. Look at the foul rundown, as we said, 4 apiece on Longley, Rodman, and Pippen.
And Mark, these 2 free throws by Steve Kerr give Michael Jordan an extra 30 seconds, 45 seconds of rest. Phil Jackson's not going to leave that man, the MVP, on the bench very long.
John Sally, Randy Brown check in for the final seconds of the third quarter. 2 points, Seattle lead. Steve Kerr, one of the better free throw shooters in the NBA. 2 for 2 at the line tonight. Off the scramble, Rodman pops it up. Sally, couple of air balls to conclude matters in this third quarter. After 3 at T Arena. Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Sonics desperately trying to stay alive. Move this series to Chicago for a 6th game. It's the Sonics by 2. Back after this from your local station. His ankles are bothering him. Scotty saying your shot comes from your base. I haven't felt physically the way I did early in the year. I'm not looking for excuses. Gary Krause, the vice president of basketball operation for the Bulls, made the statement the other day that he'd love to see Scotty take off and rest after the season. He's a member of the dream team in the Olympic Games, but the indication is that Scottie Pippen will take just a brief rest and then join the dream team in their training camp. Here's Kemp opening up the fourth quarter. He has 20 points, and it's the Sonics with a 64-60 lead. Correction in the foul department. The official score now telling us that Pippen does not have 4 fouls. He has 3. 4 apiece on Longley and Rodman. George Bushler trying to line drive it, but came up short. Perkins got the step, came up short, but on the back tap, handled by Payton, and they get the new shot clock.
No one for Chicago has been a factor on the defensive boards. Rodman on the bench right now, ineffective throughout. Longley has not been sweeping anything. Scotty, normally a terrific defensive rebounder, just not there for Chicago tonight.
Hawkins, eluding Kerr. Steve Kerr gambled. As a result, an open 3 for Hersey Hawkins.
I'm really surprised at this Chicago lineup right now, struggling as they have all evening with both Jordan and Kukoc on the bench right now, and Scottie Pippen really not effective.
7-point Seattle lead. Longley getting good position on the post, and then had it knocked away. And a foul call. This with 3 on the shot clock. Foul committed by Nate McMillan.
And Seattle's not going to have to rest Shawn Kemp or Gary Payton. Their stars are going to be able to play the whole rest of the game. Seattle only took 12 shots in that third quarter. That's amazing. Kemp got 3 of them and came out the fourth right away.
Oh, Longley with the pick on Hawkins. Bushler just went down, getting involved with McMillan, and a foul is called on Kemp. That is number 4.
Well, one of the things you don't want to see your team is get into early foul trouble in the quarter where you get into the penalty and send your opponent to the free throw line. Hannah Storm was telling us during that quarter break, George Carr wants his team to get out and run and play recklessly.
That was the second team foul on the Sonics. The Bulls have missed their last 6 shots. Pippen from 3, way off, and recovered by McMillan. The Bulls have missed the last 14 from 3-point range. Payton. Nice play by Pippen to knock it away. 3 on 2. Longley from Kerr. Yes, and it counts. Luke Longley off the lead pass from Steve Kerr, and Longley to the line.
All set up by that great block by Scottie Pippen, and Steve Kerr, who normally doesn't handle in the middle on fast break situations, looked a little tentative there for a second, but bailed out nicely by Longley, who filled that lane right up the gut.
Phil Jackson, a lot of patience, a lot of confidence keeping Jordan on the bench right here.
Well, he is obviously looking for a big finish with Jordan and Kukoc sitting down the first 2.5 minutes of this fourth quarter. Foul is called. It is on Randy Brown. And a timeout taken. 9:49 remaining, fourth quarter. The Sonics 67, the Bulls 63.
63.
Recognition of that moment, Miller Brewing Company will donate $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund. Bulls outscoring the Blazers 33-14 in the fourth quarter, and Jordan was named the MVP of the finals. Michael is back on the court. Shawn Kemp continuing the touch. He has 22 points. The Sonics lead 69-63 with 9:25 to go in the fourth quarter.
Well up the lane that time for Shawn Kemp. That'll be the key for Seattle the rest of the way.
Jordan. So Michael Jordan back on the floor and hits on his first attempt. 26 for Jordan. 69-65 Seattle. They double up on Kemp. Pippen over to help, and a foul is called. It's a holding foul. And that now is number 4 on Pippen.
Seattle has to keep pounding it inside. Sean Kemp is playing a masterful game tonight. Get him the ball early in the shot clock so we can do more than just be a shooter as Payton draws the block.
Percy Hawkins and Luke Longley had some words, and Hawkins pulled aside by Schrempf. Rodman has been called for the foul. That is his 5th.
Gary Payton is so effective in getting into the lane, penetrating, and Dennis Rodman got away with shuffling his feet earlier in that 3rd quarter and got away with a foul called on Sean Kemp. This time he steps inside to draw the foul, and then Sean Kemp right in the face of Luke Longley. And nothing called?
What is that all about? Wow. Sean Kemp's been above stuff like that virtually this entire series.
Gary Payton extends to a 70-65 lead. Dennis Rodman sitting down after picking up number 5. Sonics by 6, just under 9 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. Phil Jackson staying with Randy Brown, handling the ball. Jordan changed his mind, and a foul is called. They collapsed, they doubled up on Jordan. He was forced to give up the ball. He couldn't find anyone. In fact, he's upset about that.
But Chicago's spacing looks so bad right now. They're all standing around, waiting, watching Michael. Nobody's attacking. Scotty's game is non-existent. Kukoc has been passive.
Foul's called on Payton, his 3rd. Longley, yes. Luke Longley, 3 for 3 from the field. He has 10 points in all. Sonics lead 71-67. Kemp whips it out. Hawkins returning to Kemp. And here comes Brown with Trent back. He goes around him. And then the hook is off the mark. Rebound, Pippen. Scottie Pippen. Very alert. The Sonics seem to be standing around.
Well, Sean Kemp got caught after he missed that shot up in the fans and the television cameras on the sideline. He's holding that right hand.
Sonics by 2. Kemp with the spin. Stripped by Jordan. Michael Jordan knocking it away from Sean Kemp. Pippen for 3. Pippen on the rebound. Pippen rebounded by Kemp. Scottie Pippen is now 4 for 15. Here's Payton challenging Jordan. And Pippen to the ball. Wild end-to-end basketball here in the 4th quarter. 7:20 remaining. The Sonics holding on to a 2-point lead. Longley. And Perkins came up with it.
And Michael Jordan furious and frustrated at the kind of play that Luke Longley just tried to make there. Just everybody standing around, though. The Triangle offense is stopped dead.
And a foul, a reach in is called. It is on Jordan.
And with 7 minutes to go in the 4th quarter, both teams now with 4 team fouls. This will be a foul shooting contest down the stretch.
Timeout called. Sonics 71, Bulls 69. Seattle with the lead. 5 minutes in 4th quarter. Let's go to Hannah Storm.
Marv, in the first half, Sean Kemp battling cramps in the hamstring, then a bruised sternum. Now he has a cut on his right hand. Bill mentioned that he was holding his hand. It is a little bit sore, but they have stopped the bleeding so that he is able to get back into this game. But certainly as Sean Kemp playing through a variety of injuries in this one, Marv.
All right, Hannah, for the record, no team in any 7-game playoff series has ever come back from an 0-3 deficit to win it. 5 teams have responded to pull even, but none ever won the finale. There have been 9 finals that have gone 3-0. 6 of them have finished with sweeps. Schrempf fouled by Kukoc. Chicago winning the first 3 in this series. Seattle coming back with the convincing victory in Game 4 on Wednesday, and the Sonics hoping to hold on here to force a Game 6 back in Chicago on Sunday night. Detlef Schrempf to the line as Tony Kukoc picked up his second foul.
Well, every time the Sonics have had a chance to go at somebody, the man they have picked is Tony Kukoc because he has problems moving his feet against a quicker player like Schrempf. And Schrempf just beat him with a hard spin to the dribble, and that's just the problem of getting into the penalty so early in the quarter.
But give credit to the Sonic players for having the discipline to get to their post-up offense with Kemp, with Schrempf. Jordan has been a non-factor. Only 6 shot attempts in the entire second half, 1 in this quarter.
Oh, Shawn Kemp nearly picked it off. And that would have been an interesting finish.
He doesn't look tired at all to me. This guy continues to be up in the passing lane.
And Scottie Pippen furious with Kukoc for not coming out hard to meet the pass. Everybody's got to pick up their aggressiveness from here on out.
Here's Kukoc for 3.
Terrible.
And Perkins on the rebound. The Bulls 1 of 17 from downtown. They've missed their last 16 from three-point range. Schrempf working on Kukoc.
That's the Detlef Schrempf from Houston, destroying Robert Horry.
13 for Schrempf. Sonics by 6. Pippen for 3. Again, too strong. Payton on a 3-on-2 for Schrempf, who pulled it back. Hawkins. Well, that's not the 3-on-2 you're looking to run. As they settle for the corner jump shot. Jordan, triple team. Kerr from downtown can't find the ring.
Oh, a careless pass by Scottie. He had Steve Kerr, who has struggled with his shot, standing there wide open, but the low pass around the ankles.
Payton posting Kerr. Yes. The Sonics on a tear. The Bulls will talk it over.
Hammered. You got to wonder if that big push during all season and playing so brilliantly to earn their distinction as one of the greatest teams of all time, if that took too big of a toll, because right now the Bulls are a battered team and Seattle is playing terrific ball.
Michael Jordan has attempted only 1 shot in this fourth quarter. Kukoc again comes up short, and it's Schrempf on the ball. Just under 5 remaining in the fourth quarter. The Sonics lead 77-69. Extends with the 3 to an 11-point Seattle lead.
George Karl told his team, I want you to play up-tempo, a little crazy, a little wild, anything but cautious.
9-0 run by the Sonics. Dennis Rodman back on the floor playing with 5 fouls. Long leash pass deflected out. Last touch by Seattle with 9 on the 24.
Marv, this is exactly what Seattle needs as they go and look at Game 6 on Sunday. They've got their game back. They got their confidence. They truly believe now.
Jordan for 3. Payton has Hawkins. Jordan trailing. Hawkins and Schrempf for an 82-69 lead. And again, Phil Jackson calls for time. Receiving a surprise visit from his 90-year-old dad. Joe Karl just 2 days before Father's Day, an emotional scene prior to the game. Kerr again comes up short, and Payton is on the rebound. And the Bulls, incredibly, have missed 20 straight from three-point range. 20 in a row. 1 for 21 overall. Payton forced it. And Longley off the board. Pippen putting the move on Schrempf. Rebound, Rodman. The tip by Dennis Rodman.
And Scottie Pippen just does not have any explosiveness in his legs to finish a driving shot to the basket. And he is just playing with frustration at his teammates, at the officials, and looks like a defeated player right now.
Light pressure shown by the Bulls. But Michael Jordan, very quiet. 26 points in all, and has not looked to take charge in the fourth quarter. Now 1 of 2 from the field in the fourth. Perkins. And tipped home. Percy Hawkins getting a piece of it. Sonics 84 and the Bulls 71.
And you have to start wondering what the short turnaround is going to mean. Seattle, of course, is going to come in full of energy.
Oh, Scottie Pippen hitting a 3, and he thought he was fouled. Having words with Jess Kersey, thought he was hit on the arm. So after missing 20 straight, Pippen able to hit from downtown. The Bulls have missed 20 straight, and of course Pippen has been struggling from three-point territory. Kemp with the shot clock running down. 2:35 to go in the fourth quarter. 10-point Seattle lead. And again on their feet as Chicago comes to the offensive end. Here's a 3 by Kerr. Now remember, Chicago came from 13 down with 5 minutes and 20 seconds to play in Game 3 of the series against the New York Knicks. It forced an overtime. As it turned out, the Knicks were able to win in overtime for the only win of that series as the Bulls went on to take it in 5 games.
Well, Pippen's 3 was almost lucky because he got hit on the play that time. Chicago did a good job of moving the ball around and making the defense work to get that open look in rhythm.
Coming up on 2 minutes to go in this fourth quarter, Jordan knocked it away, looking for the steal. Seattle with 10 on the shot clock. 7-point Sonic lead. Net left Shrem off the mark, and a loose ball foul on Shrem. Now both teams are over the foul limit. So the Bulls to the line, and they can cut it to a 5-point deficit.
But Marv, the Bulls haven't played really good basketball tonight. This is, for them to come back at this point would be truly remarkable, because Seattle has dominated most of this game.
Luke Longley 4 of 5 from the foul line. Longley a 78% free throw shooter during the regular season.
Well, Chicago, after made free throws, like to put on tough backcourt pressure. What the Seattle club has done the last couple of ball games is attack that pressure. This is a very tough situation right now because Seattle has lost their tempo and rhythm at the offensive end.
Bulls are 16 of 22 at the line. Rodman sitting down. So Longley hits on 1 of 2. Sonics 84. The Bulls 78. Just under 2 minutes remaining in the fourth. I would not think Shawn Kemp is the man you want handling the ball in the backcourt, but he's able to get it ahead. Hawkins. Shrimp with a good play to tip it aside to maintain possession.
Scottie just couldn't get that one rebound that Chicago desperately needed.
And the Sonics wisely playing the clock. Minute and a half remaining in the fourth, taking time off the 24. Shot clock at 6. Down to 4. Here is Kemp. Air ball handled by Pippen. 6-point Seattle lead. 1:15 to go. Kerr for 3. And Kemp on the rebound as Pippen was sent flying.
Why don't they ever look for Michael Jordan?
Foul is called. John Brown. But Phil, you get the idea that Michael is not looking from an offensive mode in this fourth quarter.
But you got to set him up. Somebody run a dribble handoff for him. You can't just let him do everything by himself. 2 points in the fourth. Very few shot attempts down the stretch. His teammates have to help him get off.
Payton is 4 of 5 at the line. Timeout is taken. 1:04 to go in the fourth quarter. The Sonics led by as many as 13 with 3:11 remaining. They were up 84-71, so the Bulls are now within 6 points. Seattle only 1 for its last 7 from the field.
And no matter what Michael Jordan has done in the fourth quarter, second half, missing shots, the ball has to get in his hands. He has to be the playmaker for himself or somebody else at this point.
Jordan played by Hawkins. Jordan for 3. And Perkins to the rebound. .50 seconds remaining. Kemp facing pressure, finds Hawkins, and he's fouled by Kukoc.
Seattle doing a very good job of coming back to the ball. In this situation, forget all strategy other than come to the ball. Once you get it, move it quickly to the next guy. Don't even give him a chance to let him foul you.
Well, if you're George Karl, your heart is in your throat with Shawn Kemp handling the basketball, but he has shown a lot of poise and made the right decision. But you got to wonder, why doesn't Gary Payton get the ball? He is the point guard. He is the man that has to make the decisions for Seattle down the stretch.
Percy Hawkins, 4 for 4 at the line. One of the better free throw shooters in the NBA, 87% for the season. 45 and 3/10 seconds to go. Fourth quarter. Hawkins very calmly hitting the 2 shots. Sonics 87, the Bulls 78. Kukoc trying the baseline. Jordan straight away for 3. And a timeout called by Rodman. Was he able to call for the timeout as he was flying into the Seattle bench? Let's see. Yes, the indication from Jess Kersey is that he did successfully call for time. Down at 26 and 9/10 seconds to go. Fourth quarter. Sonics up 87. And Bill Walton, again, not an impact game for Michael Jordan. 11 of 22, 26 points, only 3 of 9 in the second half. Chicago just used its final timeout, and the Bulls facing the prospect of losing 2 straight games for only the second time this season. Late in the season, they lost on the road at Denver and at Phoenix. 26 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Pippen forcing, rebounded by Shawn Kemp. And the Seattle Supersonics taking the series back to the United Center in Chicago. Foul on Kerr, 16 and 4/10 seconds to go in this fourth quarter. As Gary Payton heads back to the line, and this series heads back to the Windy City with a 3-2 lead for the Bulls. In fact, George Karl now enters the bench. Here comes Steve Strickland, David Wingate, and Eric Snow. And again, a standing ovation for the Sonics, who have to feel mighty good about themselves. Once again, as they're able to bounce back in the playoffs after the first round eliminations, the first 2 years, the last 2 years, I should say, and they come back from 3-0 to get back into this series.
And a lot of people thought that they might just be happy to avoid being swept and then cave in. No such thing.
Final seconds. Kukoc tees it up for 3. Rebounded by Payton, and that will do it. Final home appearance for the Sonics. And you'd think they've won the championship. But there are games to follow. A Game 6 in Chicago on Sunday, and perhaps even a Game 7. The Sonics with an 89-78 win over the Bulls. And the Sonics out saluting their fans. The Sonics remaining on the court to salute their fans who have shown great support right throughout.
The Seattle Supersonics refuse to die. The Sonics take Game 5 here at the Key Arena with an impressive showing in the fourth quarter. They now trail 3 games to 2 following an 89-78 victory. As the Sonics head back to the locker room, they are saluted by this capacity crowd at the Key Arena. What a performance in the fourth quarter from Seattle. If Chicago is to celebrate a championship, it will be put on hold for at least